Right, we're a little bit out of breath because at very high altitude we just had to run to catch a bus because our bus was not going to be here on time. Welcome to the, I don't know what I call it,
Peruvian Experience podcast.
The Peruvian Experience podcast with me, Charlie.
And me, Liam.
The year is 2024 and it is May.
It is indeed May. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. So Liam, what happened? What's happened on this trip?
Well, should we start on day dot? We met in Madrid airport at Burger King.
Yeah.
We were looking for food for Charlie because Charlie hadn't eaten.
We don't care about the airport experience. Let's move on.
Okay. Our flight was delayed. That was our airport
experience.
Was,
yeah.
We were meant to arrive at 4 a.m. in Lima, but instead we arrived at 6 a.m.
Which is actually a bit better, so it worked out quite well for us, timing-wise, time zone-wise.
The flight was quite shit though. You had to pay for headphones and they didn't give
Ridiculous.
out anything other than water. So,
but we slept most of the flight and we both woke up with the most painful coccyx imaginable.
Yeah, we were so awful seats. They were terrible seats. And you're going to have a similar experience tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
So we arrived with our sore asses about 6 a.m. in Lima airport. And whilst I was on the flight, I'd been doing a bit of reading about the dodgiest places in Lima, and it turns out that Charlie had decided to book our hostel in one of those places.
But on purpose, I knew it was dodgy. It's because it was right next to the airport.
And cheap.
Yes, so we could just literally land in the morning, drop our bags off, and then get a taxi, go into the old town.
Yeah, and that woman was very kind to let us, because we arrived and we were in jeans and hoodies and jumpers.
And it was hot.
And it was hot, very hot. So that woman very kindly allowed us to get changed and
charge our phones for a bit.
Use the bathroom. And then we caught our first of the many very cheap Ubers that you can catch in this country. It cost about £1.70, I think, to get into the centre of town. And when
it was like a half an hour drive as well.
It was a long drive, yeah. It was definitely more than 20 minutes for sure. And we arrived in town on the edge. We need to get some cash out from the bank, and we were, I don't know what else we were looking for. Was it just a bank we were looking for? Because you deliberately got our taxi to stop on the edge because you wanted to walk into the centre.
Okay.
So anyway, we walked around, got an ATM, bought some water, and then we walked into the centre, which was very grand. It was lovely. It was fantastic, like Harry Potter-esque wooden facades on all the buildings.
Oh yeah, it was nuts, wasn't it?
And the only reason we theorised the only reason that these wooden facades have actually lasted for so long is that Lima turns out to be the second driest city in the world, second to Cairo in Egypt. And they get like 15 millimetres of water a year, I think they told us. So yes, very dry, arid city, but very green as well. They take care of their gardens.
They do.
A lot of garden watering. Anyway, we went onto the centre and saw these beautiful wooden facades and a massive, fantastical cathedral. And we also saw the house of the president, didn't we?
The presidential palace.
Yes.
Very grand, all in the square.
Yeah, very nice. I'm trying to think what. Well,
I can't even remember my day in Lima.
You were obsessed with going to get some. I think it was chicken from this. Got chicken and sweet potato from this shop that all the locals were queuing outside for miles down the street. You were very obsessed with that, so you went and got that.
Yeah.
And I went and got.
No, it was pork.
It was pork, yes. I went and got something from a different shop to eat, but we came back, converged on the cathedral steps.
We were a bit fucked for some reason. I think we were just jet lagged. We then just lay eating our food for a while.
I was very
chilled
tired.
out in the shade in the main square. Leaning on the big church.
Yeah, leaning on the big church. And then we decided, then we did some Googling. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do in Lima. And there were two main things to do. There was a pre-Inca pyramid that was on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
And there was a catacombs under another grand church.
With loads of skulls and stuff.
With loads of skulls, which looked cool to see. So we went to try and see the skull stuff first, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that had probably the biggest queue in the world at that point in time.
Yeah.
It went around an entire, I don't know, it's probably like 1k squared building
block.
Yeah.
They went around the whole block, and the blocks were enormous.
And the front of the queue actually touched the back of the queue, so there was the queue had started wrapping around itself. It was so big. So once we saw that, and we walked around,
and it was not moving.
Yeah, it wasn't moving.
People like sat down.
Yeah. Once we saw that, we decided that the catacombs were maybe a no-go.
Well, we thought maybe we'd come back.
Yeah.
So then we went to the old pyramid thing.
We saw some dancing first in the square.
We did. There was some dancing. Yeah.
And we noticed that all of the men who were dancing were wearing tribal gimp masks. That's what they were wearing, weren't they? Which was very interesting. Yeah. It was curious. Anyway, then what did we do then? We got the taxi.
Then we got the taxi. We went to the posh bit of town to go see the ancient pre-Inca pyramids. Not whatever it was, ruins.
I think it was pyramids. Yeah, I think they call them pyramids.
It wasn't pyramids when we went.
Yes, they didn't look like pyramids.
And the tour person, you had to book a tour in order to go in, and the tour woman knew basically nothing. But that's because they just knew nothing about this tribe. Not much had lasted. Whenever anyone asked a question, she'd just be like, I don't know.
Yeah. She was like, no one knows.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite interesting that they had no written language here, so quite a lot has.
Well, the Incas had no written. This was pre-Incas as well.
I don't think they had any written language either. She said so. Everything that they knew was lost in time.
But they did know that everyone there either left or died at one point, and then like 150 years later, a load of other tribes found it, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Like they thought it was some gods. The gods had made it or something. They looked back.
Yeah, and there was 26 dead women there as well.
There were.
Yeah, they sacrificed them
for the lols.
Yeah, well, at least that's as far as that woman knew anyway.
Yep. Then we got the taxi back to the catacombs, hoping the queue had died down. It had been like a few hours later at this point. It was like 4 o'clock at this point.
Yep.
On a Sunday, which is why I think the queue was so long, because it was a church. And the queue was just as long when we went back.
It was very long still.
So then, what, did we just go get some food?
We just went and got some food. We went back to the Grand Centre and went down one of the streets. Looked at some tap shops, we didn't get anything, but then eventually it ended up getting some food.
Then we found a place. So the national dish of Lima is raw fish, which scares me at the best of times. But I thought I want to try it at some point, and this is the only day I'm spending on the coast. So now it's now or never.
Yes.
And it was quite tasty. It was a very strong taste.
It was an acquired taste, I think.
And it was an enormous mountain of raw fish.
It was a lot of it.
And I had a lot of it, and it still looked like there was a lot left.
Yeah, and I had the taku, which is fried beans and rice.
So that was good. And then we got taxi back to our dodgy hotel.
We did. We stayed the night.
And then we had to plane the next day as well. So
flight in the morning. So we got
walked to the airport.
Had the breakfast, which was self-service toast and jam and butter in little pots. Which was funny. It was exactly enough for one slice of toast in each of the pots, so we ended up having to go back and get many pots. But anyway, I digress. We got the
airport was a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the airport was a pain in the ass
because they had boards with all the timings, and our flight wasn't on there.
Yes, our flight was nowhere to be seen.
So we went to the information table, and the woman couldn't have given less of a shit, and she was like, "Just go through departures." When I went up, and we went to departure, started freaking out because the flight wasn't there either. So then Liam went up again to ask her some more questions, and then she was like, "I'll just go to the ticket. I don't care. Go away."
Yeah.
So then we queued up in the ticket line, and then we showed them the thing, and they were like, "What's your problem? You've got a ticket." We're like, "It was not the board." And he was like, "Oh, ignore the boards. The boards are all wrong."
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. It's quite funny.
Oh, okay. So we got a quick Mackey's. Got just some chips.
Some chips and some Inca Cola for me.
Inca Cola, and away we went.
Inca Cola is the national soft drink of choice. It outsells Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola was so sore about this they ended up purchasing the company. So now it's a product of Coca-Cola, but it
looks
better.
Nothing like Inca Cola. It's like fucking Monster Munch, Monster.
No, it's like cream soda. That's an accurate description of cream soda.
And what? So then we landed in Cusco.
We did.
Which is a very, very high altitude.
Yes, it's at such a high altitude that the pressure that they pressurise the aeroplanes at when you're flying is actually lower than the pressure of the outside air.
So for the last 10 minutes, before you land, they repressurise to where you're at.
Yes.
Depressurise. And Liam and I both got very lightheaded, very tingly.
Yep.
Fair amount of altitude sickness, I'd say.
Mm.
Getting up and walking around was not easy. But we got out, we went outside, found a taxi,
Got an Uber. Yep.
Uber, and went straight to our hotel, didn't we?
Yep.
And then we lay in the hotel for a while.
Well, you lay in the hotel. I went for a walk and did a kind of YouTube podcast for Jasmine and gave her a tour of the area of Cusco that was immediately around our hotel. And I got some very tasty watermelon on that walk.
Yeah, I needed to acclimatise. I was very lightheaded every time I was standing up.
Yeah, it did fuck us quite a bit.
But after a while, we acclimatised, took it easy, went for a walk to a restaurant.
We took an Uber to the centre, didn't we?
No, we had lunch first, which is just 15 minutes away.
Oh yeah, at the place with all the bland food.
Bland food, yeah. It was one of those places with no menu. You just walk in, they
just
serve
give you
you stuff.
Yeah, and we both had a load of bland food, but there was in each dish there was one thing that was very tasty.
Well, that was pico de gallo. That was the only thing that I thought was really tasty.
Yeah, I had some seitan, which was like probably the most well seasoned thing I've eaten the whole time I've been here. But it was just like a tiny square of seitan,
but it's some vegan restaurant, wasn't it? Vegetarian
restaurant, yeah.
But it was 9 soles per person, which is like £2.50 for a 3-course meal.
Very cheap for a 3-course meal, yeah.
That's when we were like, okay, we're feeling a bit better. I felt a lot better after eating. So then we got a taxi into the historic part of town. What did we do there, Liam?
Well, we mostly went for a walk around the historic part of town. I don't think we did anything specific.
The weather wasn't great, was it?
The weather wasn't great. We got accosted by many shoe shiners perpetually. That is a theme of our time in Cusco.
They kept pointing at my gross shoes and being like, so dirty.
Yeah, I think they just liked us because we were prime customers because our shoes are filthy. But we walked around the centre square, which was very nice. It has 2 cathedrals, or 2 churches at least.
A few churches around as well, dotted around, so we walked.
And there's lots of nice old colonial buildings with the wooden facades there as well. And we walked up to the San Pedro market, but the market was shut, so we didn't get to see anything being sold there. We tried out the coca leaf candies that they sell here. That's the coca leaf that they use to make cocaine.
Oh yeah, we'd had a lot of coca tea at this point as well.
It's just meant to help with the altitude sickness, so it's a good thing to do. I think at that point we came back to the square and sat for a bit, and then we found somewhere to have some food.
It was dinner. Yeah, we went to that nice restaurant. We had a really fancy restaurant with one of the wooden terraces. We sat on one of the wooden terraces overlooking the square.
Yeah. Oh, and we were sat next to those 2 girls, Sophie and Lucy, who we only know their name from eavesdropping, but they
were very loud and right next to us.
Apparently, alcohol at altitude is significantly more impactful, and over the course of their one drink that they both had, they went from telling nice stories about travelling to going through a list of everyone they've fucked between here and Timbuktu. It was quite the experience overhearing that conversation. You got anything to add to that, Charlie?
No.
That was a funny conversation to be a part. Well, not to be a part of, to be a fly on the wall for. So I think after that we walked around a little bit more, but then we just got our Uber back to the hotel because we were going to bed early because we were going to get up and do something in Cusco the next morning. I think we were also feeling a bit fucked, so we wanted to get some good sleep in.
Yeah.
It turned out that our hotel, although the family that were running it were really nice, and the room itself was actually quite nice and modern, but it had a giant hole in the bathroom where there was no window, and
that was in Lima, mate.
That was in Lima as well, but that was also in Lima. It was above the front door in the bathroom.
Oh yes, in the Lima one.
Yeah, the Lima one is the front door.
Got a load of cushions.
Yeah,
filled in the hole.
Yeah.
But then it got really dense, stuffy in the room at night, so then I panicked that we weren't getting any oxygen.
Yes, so we went to bed there, but that was a very cold night. You were very cold.
freezing.
Yeah, that was a very freezing.
There's going to be a trend from here on out. From
Yes.
a high altitude onwards, it was cold.
Yep. You didn't get the best night's sleep, but it wasn't the worst of the trip.
No, that night I was fine. I think that was
actually, that was me.
Yeah,
who
I was fine.
I got the bad sleep. Right, that was the bad night's sleep for me. I had a blocked nose and couldn't breathe for most of the night. So I think I slept all of like 3 hours or something. But anyway, we still woke up and we went back into the central of town, the central historical area.
Yeah.
And we went for breakfast in a very nice cafe. The food was very tasty and the coffee was good, but the service took about 2 hours. We were there for like 2 hours, weren't we?
And like 5 or 6 tables came in after us. And got their drinks and food. And we were just sat there with nothing, waiting.
Yeah, we really found that quite it was quite the one, wasn't it? So after our 2 hour cafe experience, it was more or less time to go back to the hotel and pick up our gear and get the well, we were using bimodal transportation to get to Machu Picchu. So we had a bus to catch from Cusco, and then a train to catch from this town called Olatamba, I believe. And that was one of the towns in the Sacred Valley. It was a very nice little town, but we were only there for all of an hour, I think, waiting for our train.
The bus stopped at a very pretty lake. I took pictures of some llamas or alpacas, whatever they were.
Some llamas.
Llamas.
And we ended up getting the bus to this nice village, and then from the nice village we got the train. On the train journey, it was very interesting because you could tell that the biome habitat was changing from being
arid
to rainforest. Like, it was very beautiful train journey. It was nice to go on and experience that. And that train journey ended in Aguas Calientes, which is the town that sits beneath Machu Picchu and serves all of the main tourist hubs.
It was pedestrian only, which is nuts. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was a pedestrian-only town. It felt kind of like a cross between, I don't know, the Himalayas and like Southeast Asia. Like, all the streets had like neon signs, and they were selling lots of tat, but the tat they were selling were all like woolly jumpers and like kind of the things you see sold in the Himalayas. So it was kind of this interesting combination. We went for dinner that night when we got in at this awesome restaurant.
It was really nice.
Yeah, it was a craft beer restaurant. And this is when Charlie got to sample his second national dish of the trip.
I had guinea pig.
Koi.
And by God, it was good.
Yeah, you really enjoyed that, didn't you?
Shit.
And I had a very tasty saltado, which is one of the other national dishes, which was made vegetarian, which is very nice. And towards the end of our meal, some professional pan flute players came and did like it's kind of like karaoke songs they were doing pan flute to, but it was very good.
Yeah.
The Sound of Silence, wasn't it? I can't remember what the other song was, but it was definitely The Sound of Silence we had them do. They were very, very good, very talented. But as soon as one of them started singing, Charlie said we had to go. So we had a bit of an issue. I forgot this. When we got into Aguas Calientes, we had a huge issue, which was Charlie was saying how good he is at booking hotels. Jinxed the fact that... Oh mate, that's one of those stair sets that they jump down the bikes. Anyway. Yes, Charlie jinxed it, saying he was very good at booking hotels, and we got there and our hotel did not exist.
We just couldn't find it anywhere.
We just couldn't find it anywhere. There was no sign on the street.
There were 2 locations, so the Google Maps had one location, Booking.com had another. They were quite close.
We checked both.
We kept going to both. We kept asking the locals, do you know where this is?
They had no idea.
We then messaged.
You messaged them on Booking.com. I messaged them on WhatsApp
and, they weren't
and
replying.
Facebook. No, they weren't replying.
And then eventually we decided, well, fuck it, we'll just book something else.
And the moment I booked somewhere else, she replied to me on WhatsApp, but I just decided...
But she replied to you on WhatsApp, sending you a link to the exact location we'd been at.
Yeah, which was wrong. So it feels like a bit of a disingenuous situation. But apparently Booking.com tried to get in touch with them as well, and they tried several times and
Yeah,
could not get in touch with them
That's
either.
right,
So Booking.com was not happy with them. Yeah. It was when we got in that night. We asked the hotel staff, and they told us that we needed to buy a separate bus ticket to get up to Machu Picchu. Which was,
the guys are really helpful actually.
yeah, very good to know because we hadn't done that.
Then we just put that online.
Yep.
It's just like a little shuttle up to Machu Picchu itself.
Yeah.
Because you're allowed to walk it, but it's like 3 hours up a road.
Yeah, and it's a steep road. It's about 500-meter ascent, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, little did we know that the ticket that we had actually booked for Machu Picchu entailed climbing up a mountain.
The largest mountain there.
Huayna Picchu. In fact, I think it was this morning I was looking at the UK Gov travel website for Peru, and they said that several tourists have actually died climbing Huayna Picchu, falling off it. And they said, warning.
I can believe that.
I can believe that as well. Yeah, there were some really dodgy steps. But anyway, we're skating ahead. So we took our bus.
It was kind of like mountain climbing at some point.
It was, yeah. It was very techy. Yeah, it got very technical. We got our bus from Aguas Calientes up to the top of Machu Picchu, the mountain, where the historical site is. And
we had perfect weather.
Yeah,
we'd been told by Liam's mum that it was going to be cold and wet, so to dress up. So we had like multiple layers on, jeans, we had our waterproofs on.
Yes.
And then as soon as we got there, it was fucking roasted. And it was only
warm.
like 9 in the morning.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it was like 20 degrees when we got there at 9 in the morning.
So we then took all of our layers
stripped off.
But it meant that I hadn't put any sun cream on. So by the end of the day, I was fucking bright purple.
And Charlie expressly blames my mother for all of this. But yeah, we got up there. We had a wander around. It wasn't too busy actually, the circuit. We were on circuit 4, and it wasn't too busy. I don't think
It got busier throughout the day.
It did get busier throughout the day. When we were there, I think we got ample opportunity to take photos with just ourselves in them, and it wasn't a big cluster of people.
And the wonder itself is very, very cool. It's the surrounding view.
Yeah,
like you're just in this valley of mountains, and you're very high up yourself. It's just spectacular.
It is the context of where it is that makes it so spectacular.
Yeah.
So we walked around and did our circuit 4, and I guess it's kind of 3/4 into circuit 4. There is the stop where you go through another checkpoint to go and climb Huayna Picchu.
And we're so glad we did that as well.
Yeah,
it was fucking exhausting, but that was the best part, I'd say.
When we got there though, there was two mountains that it looked like there was 2 mountains, and it looked like one people were climbing up because you could see people on it, and there was another mountain that I couldn't see anyone climbing up.
But I knew we'd booked the biggest mountain.
I
kept telling Liam we're going up that one.
Also looking at this mountain, thinking to myself, that looks like a big mountain. I don't think they'll let tourists climb.
You're completely wrong.
I didn't say it that aggressively. I didn't say it like that. I said, no, I don't think it's that one. It must be this one. And we got there, and we got through the checkpoint, and there was 2 signs, right and left, and the right one, Huayna Picchu, pointed directly at the substantially sized
mountain.
Yeah. So we climbed up that. There was a colourful array of people climbing up that with us.
There were.
Yeah.
One very, very, very fat man who looked like he was on death's door.
The whole climb.
But
it was very impressive that he made it, because there were other people who turned around that were substantially fitter than him.
Yeah. When we were at the top, we were there for a while because we were just soaking it in.
Yeah.
And he did make it.
He made it all the way to the top. I saw him come down the bottom as well. I don't think he would have made it had he not had, I don't know if she was his partner or his wife or his carer, or I don't know what she was, but she was the most optimistic ray of sunshine person that I've met. He was
really positive as well.
Yeah, he was very positive. They were both very positive. It was strange degree of positivity. Probably Scientologists or something. But yes, there was a colourful array of people. There was a bunch of American girls that were getting very annoyed at people being in their photographs.
Who then proceeded to immediately stand right in our photographs.
Yes, that was kind of ironic. So we climbed to the top, took some lovely photos. The view was phenomenal. It was probably the best view you could get at Machu Picchu, I think. Highest point, yeah. It was about a 500-meter climb. It was good. It was very, very fun. We had a great time. Little little did Charlie know, or maybe he was aware actually when he was going up, that he was getting severely sunburnt on the way up.
I didn't realise. We were in the shade most of the time. I really don't understand how I got so burnt.
Yeah, I don't know how he, like, I guess maybe walking around the main site as well. Yeah, that was not very shaded.
But I was like then properly like sunstroked afterwards.
Yeah, you were.
And
you were
high
not
altitude.
not in a good way afterwards. Yeah. But we had to plough on because we were up Machu Picchu. It was a spectacular day. I thought that was one of up there in the top wonders I've seen of the world.
Yeah, it was very cool.
It was seriously worth the effort to get there. We went back down into town and we got some food. After climbing Huayna Picchu, we were both very hungry. And then we did some tat shopping. I got myself a nice painting and a magnet, and I think Charlie just got himself a magnet, but he was staring at things that he wanted to buy for his family.
I've spent hours looking for something for Charlotte and my mum, and I've not got anything yet.
Yeah, and this is coming close to the end of the trip, and I don't think you're going to find anything in Juliaca. Yeah. We did some tat shopping. We went back. We had a late train back, wasn't it? It was meant to go at 5 or 4:45. I think it was meant to go at. Or was it? No, it was meant to go at 5:20. We needed to be there for 4:45, and we all queued up at say 5:15, and then we didn't actually board the train until 6. So we stood up in this really stuffy room queuing for the best part of an hour, I think. And Charlie, that was where Charlie began to become grumpy Charlie, may I say it, because that was not good. The train arrived, I think it was like a 6-hour train, wasn't it? So it arrived late at it was meant to arrive around 10 o'clock, I think, but it ended up arriving around 11:30.
Which we've been going to bed at 8:30 every night.
Yes.
So we were properly shattered.
Yeah. Well, I'd slept on the train for quite a long time.
Yeah,
you were very shattered. I was just slightly sleepy because I'd just woken up. And we'd booked. We discussed about how we liked the centre of Cusco so much, so we booked a hotel in the centre. But I think by past standards of Liam, this hotel would have been absolutely fine. But I think
we're getting older.
Yeah, old Liam standards.
Our standards are getting higher.
Yeah, old Liam standards were slightly higher than this hotel.
The picture looks amazing.
Yeah, it was in fairness to it, it was a very nice old colonial building, wooden facades and nice wooden balcony to get up to it. And a nice courtyard.
It was nice, isn't the word for any of that?
Well, yeah, it was all of those things minus nice.
Fucking tarpaulin and corrugated steel roofing and.
Anyway,
so we go in there. We have to walk through this fucking disco party karaoke bar.
Yeah,
outdoor bar. It's right next to it.
Yeah, all the locals absolutely loved, by the way.
And we get in. I'm like, oh my god! And it's so loud. And I asked her, can we get a room far away from the noise? And she just laughs.
Yeah.
And we go upstairs and we're the second room away from it. And it's so loud. And the music was blasting until 4 a.m, you said?
Yes, it was blasting until, I think I heard it all the way up until about 4:30 in the morning or something.
It was so cold. The place said it had heating and it didn't have heating.
Yep, I went down and asked for radiador, which is the Spanish for radiator, but that doesn't translate well in this country. I think in this country it's probably just a plumbing component rather than the description for something that heats you. It was very cold, and it was a shared bathroom as well.
Yeah.
Which had probably the coldest shower of the trip for me.
Yeah. I electrocuted myself in the shower.
Yeah, it was one of those electric shower heads rather than.
And I just touched it.
Yeah. But what we didn't mention, which is important for the next stage of the trip, was the day before Machu Picchu when we were in Cusco, we had put a reservation down for 2 scooters to hire.
Oh, yeah.
When we got back that Thursday. So we got back from Machu Picchu on the Wednesday night. and that was the late night, the cold room and everything. And then the next morning we woke up and went to collect our scooters for a day of biking around Sacred Valley.
And the settings was just stunning, wasn't it? We had such a good day.
It was phenomenal. Yeah, it's a minor hiccup with my scooter with the very loosey-goosey wing mirror.
Oh yeah, and then I fell over.
And then
I had my first bike fall.
Yeah, Charlie's first ever fall off a bike.
I'd been going it was a slow bike. I was going as fast as the bike could take me around these mountain roads, and I was having a great time.
Yep.
I'd lost Liam completely, so I was like, right, I'll just pull over. Here's a nice viewing spot.
Yep.
And there was a gravel, very big gravel.
It was
like
huge
rocky.
gravel. Yeah, it was more like stony.
So my perspective of speed wasn't quite right, so I slowed down to go on this gravel, and I was going at a bit of an angle. So the back end just fucking came out.
Yeah, you hit a huge rock.
Yeah,
your
my front
hit a
wheel
huge
got
rock.
stuck on something.
I think you were going fast, but probably not fast enough to.
I'd be going like 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, you weren't going fast enough to carry yourself over this huge rock.
No.
And
so I just like
back
collapsed
end
sideways.
Skidded out and you collapsed sideways.
The bike fell on me.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see this.
No, because Liam was so fucking far back.
Yeah. I was just getting used to.
He just saw me picking the bike back up.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry. That's my motto.
And it hurt, but I kind of knew I hadn't done much damage. I had a quick look, and I'd grazed myself. Now I'm quite bruised, but that is it.
Liam was very good in this situation, may I note. For the records, he did not say anything to take the piss, and he also helped Charlie move his motorcycle over whilst he was examining the damage. So I hold my head up high.
There were a few people there at the viewing platform, but as soon as I fucking went for it, they all looked over and
made a lot of noise,
just stared at me until I got back up, and then they lost interest.
Yep. The view was stunning. I'm so annoyed. I think I was too.
I took some pictures.
Did you take some pictures of the view? Yeah, I didn't take any pictures there.
It was like a valley with a river running down
Oh,
the
it was
middle.
absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So then we biked down into Pisac, which is one of the old Sacred Valley towns. Which had some ruins there, but I think bikes were particularly slow, including me riding the bikes.
Yeah.
Which meant that it looked like we weren't going to make enough time in the day to see that
hour detour at least.
Yeah, to do that. And that seemed like it was going to push us a little bit close. And I think in retrospect, that probably was the right decision.
Yeah, because we ended up getting back as the sun was setting.
Yeah. I got some really tasty corn. I'm so happy. I was looking for street corn the whole time.
Yeah, Liam got some corn whilst I was getting antiseptic for my cuts.
Yeah. And I had some really tasty corn that I very much enjoyed.
Nightmare with the woman trying to... I just walked into a pharmacy. Pharmacies in foreign countries are normally so easy. And I went in and I asked for antiseptic wipes. I had Google Translate and I just put in antiseptic wipes. And she gave me some baby wipes. And I was like, is this antiseptic? And she was like, no. I was like, okay. So then I was like, do you have any antiseptic spray? And then she gave me like some oral tablets, and I was like, no. You're not understanding. And then I was like, I need antiseptic. What other words can I use for antiseptic? But eventually she gave me loads of options, and I showed her my cut. Which was like, oh, antiseptic. I was like, yes. Liam's distracted, by the way. He's been on his phone most of this.
No, I haven't.
So eventually she gave me some antiseptic. I cleaned myself up.
It was awful antiseptic. It was like yellow fluid. It looked like
Properly
oil.
yellow, yeah.
Got back on the bikes.
Got back on the bikes, away we went.
Drove. This part of the drive was not in the mountains. It was actually in the valley, following the river, and it was phenomenal.
It was very pretty.
Yeah.
We found a cool bridge
Yes.
that we walked over, and it was really, really bouncy.
Yeah, resonant frequency was definitely similar to the Millennium Bridge. And
loads of like cars and taxis and
yeah,
stuff.
we just carried on biking, didn't we? We ended up eventually in a very nice colonial restaurant in the last town of the Sacred Valley.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? It was quite spenny, but it was really nice.
It was lovely, yeah. And for context, quite spenny here is like £10 each.
Oh yeah, it was like £10.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I had. It was really good.
You
meat
had
and chips.
you had a chicken leg.
Oh yeah, I had a
chicken leg and chips. I don't think you had rice.
No, I didn't. You're right.
Yeah.
But that was delicious.
I had a very tasty sandwich.
Was spectacular.
I had a very tasty sandwich with lots of local vegetables inside of it.
So
really good bread.
roast chicken seems to be like what the locals eat all the time. Like
Yeah.
every street corner has like
Yeah,
roast chicken shops.
brassar.
Yeah. So I had to have some of that.
Yeah.
With some spicy sauce, which is
Yes.
very good.
But
But that might be what fucked me up. I don't know.
who knows? Yeah.
So then we kept going.
Yeah. Well, we had a nice little sit down in the centre, didn't we? It's
Yeah.
we had a nice little sit down in the centre. We watched the town go by for 10-15 minutes, which was nice. I went and got us some water, and then we hopped on the bikes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Away we went.
Yeah. And the journey back was, I think,
more stunning.
yeah, it was just even more spectacular. I think it was because the perspective we got from the way back, we could see the snow-topped mountains much more clearly.
Yeah. It's like we had loads of mountains in the distance as opposed to riding through a valley.
Yeah. And that was really stunning. Yeah, there's not too much more to say about that. We just rode through what looked like it started out with like a nice kind of valley, which kind of the valley itself felt like kind of British, like
British.
the
Flora and fauna.
Flora and fauna, yeah, was
Okay.
kind of like, like felt kind of like you were seeing dandelions and stuff there. They wouldn't have been out of place there. It was very green grass and very, very nice. And then when we got up, it felt like we were on like the Mongolian steppe.
It did.
It was like completely changed. It was like all yellow and arid for miles and miles and miles. But with
surrounded
some
by mountains.
phenomenal views of the mountains and lakes. And
Yeah.
it was very, very good.
And it started getting quite cold.
It did.
And this was the beginning of my downfall that lasted a couple of days.
Yeah.
We got back, we turned the bikes. Oh my god, no, the road. Talk about the road.
Oh, yeah. So Charlie told me that I should navigate back because my bike, well, I was slower on my bike.
It was like twice as slow.
I was very slow on my bike, yeah. So I navigated us back, and I had my headphone in my helmet that was giving me directions on Google, and we got into Cusco, and it just said turn left on
There
this road.
was a sign, a steep incline down
Steep
sign.
incline down sign, yeah. And I saw the sign, I caught the sign, but I did not appreciate just how steep this
And we
incline
were,
was.
we could see Cusco very low down
Yeah.
beneath us. And this was quite a direct route.
It was the most rapid descent I think I've ever made in a vehicle.
It was probably like, what degree do you reckon? Like 35 degrees down?
Yeah, it was 35 degrees
And it was
down.
cobbled
It was
streets
cobbled streets
with
yeah.
cars in front of us, so we
Cars,
couldn't like,
yeah.
well, we wouldn't have wanted to stop, we would have been
Yeah.
petrified.
Yeah,
And like fucking bouncing around, all our weight leaning forwards.
and I
Just
was
knowing if we slip, we're fucking going.
and I was just cackling the whole way down.
It was
Like,
slippery
it
pebbles
was
as
so
well.
funny. I thought it was really good fun. I
It
think
was mental.
Charlie was.
I was just concentrating so
Yeah.
hard the whole time, and every
Yeah.
now and then swearing very loudly.
Yeah, I think what set my cackling off was I just hear Charlie in the background going, "Fuck a duck." Yeah,
That was nuts. I
that
couldn't
was,
believe
that was an
that.
absolutely wild day. I think you said that was the most scared you've ever been on a bike afterwards, which is funny. Yeah, that was good fun. And then we finished, we returned the bikes, all went well. The woman was very
Easy.
easygoing, yeah. And then this is when Charlie's downfall really kicked in, right? This was when
Yeah.
you were feeling really fucked, so you wanted to go straight back
My
to the...
stomach was fucked, so
Yeah.
I wanted to just go and lie down.
Yep.
And normally when I lie down, I feel better after like 20 minutes. But hours passed, and I was just
Yeah.
getting colder,
We're there
more
for
ill.
we were there for like an hour, and Charlie was like, "You should probably go for dinner without me now."
Yeah.
So, I went and played Mummy. I went and asked the staff for the radiator, and
Yeah.
they told me no. But they said they'd bring some tea up for Charlie,
Yeah.
and then I went out and got some water for him. And
And I was just shivering and shivering and
yeah,
shivering
he
under
was
layers
so
and layers
cold,
of
weren't
blankets.
he? Yeah. And then I went out and had a really nice meal because Charlie wasn't with me. I was permitted to go to a fully vegan restaurant,
Yeah.
which did lots of Peruvian dishes in, like converted to vegan food, which was very tasty, and I enjoyed that. And then I came back, and I think we went to bed pretty soon after I got back,
Yeah,
didn't we?
we did,
Because
yeah.
you were fucked, and I was tired as well from the day of biking. It was brilliant.
Yeah, woke up the next day. I was still very fucked.
Yeah.
I think I was even worse the next day.
Yeah.
But I barely slept that night. tossing and turning. I was too hot. Like in nights I've been too hot, and then during the day I'm too cold. I think I've just got a fever or something. I've got a cold or something.
Yeah.
So I'm still very nasally. I can't really breathe. But that day was pretty much the whole first 8 hours were on a bus.
Yep. And it was torrential rain.
Torrential rain.
The
But
rain
that was perfect.
was pouring down on the bus, which was perfect because it was the only time we had bad weather of the trip.
Yeah.
But
And
it
I
was
was
really,
so fucked to do anything anyway.
Yeah,
So lying
yeah.
down for 8 hours was great.
It was good. Yeah, it couldn't have been better timed, that
No,
bus
yeah.
journey. And what was quite funny about the bus was it was raining so much that the water was leaking through the ceiling of the bus, through the through the onboard television onto me. So I had to put my raincoat on my lap to.
It's quite a cold bus as well.
Yeah, it wasn't a warm bus at all. Yeah. And then we
then arrived in. Well, we drove through Juliaca and then arrived in Puno.
Puno, yeah. And when we arrived in Puno, we got our first tuk-tuk of the trip because there was no Uber
Yeah,
there.
no Ubers anymore.
Yep, we got our first tuk-tuk to the centre. And for once in the trip, we had actually booked a really nice hotel.
We did.
Yeah.
For not much more money.
It was phenomenally cheap. And it was like a
Proper
nice
pish
hotel.
posh.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. Exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
Nice hot shower. I had a bath because
You
I
had a
was
bath, and you also had we had a heater in the room as well,
Yeah,
which was
which-
very good.
I blasted on for fucking hours.
Oh my god, I was like
And
so
then when we
warm.
went to bed, I was then sweltering, and I
Yeah.
took off all my clothes and all the duvets, and I couldn't sleep because I was too hot.
Charlie was just saying how cold he was the whole time.
That's
and I
it,
was
my
like
bone
absolutely
cold.
boiling.
I don't know what was going on.
Yeah,
with me.
you were really fucked.
Last 2 nights have been temperature-wise fucked.
Anyway,
what do we have for food that night?
for food that night,
We
went to.
ate about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it was really weird because the whole bus journey we didn't eat. Oh, you're
We
gonna
didn't
moan
piss.
about the fact we didn't piss because of me.
Yeah, Liam said there's a toilet on board, but he went and checked and it was locked. So fucking this 8-hour bus journey, we'd made it like 6.5 hours before I was like, I'm desperate, I need to go. And we just briefly stopped, so I was going to go and see if we could go and pee in the station. And I just checked the door and it fucking opens. So we'd not drunk any water this entire trip. Bursting for a toilet. And there was a toilet on the bus because Liam's an idiot.
I blame Heather.
I think you're going to struggle with that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame her. I definitely blame her for Machu Picchu. Maybe it's my fault slightly for the bus.
Yes, I mean, we wandered around town for a bit. It's
Yeah.
not the most exceptional town ever, to be honest, compared to other places.
No, but it's much nicer than Juliaca, I think.
Yeah,
But we
went to a really nice restaurant.
Yes, we did go to a really nice restaurant.
I had what's the
You
meal
had
called?
alpaca.
Yeah, what's
Alpaca
it called
meats. Was it alpaca?
Yeah, no, what was the meal
Oh,
called? It was a
the-
traditional meal. You had it as well.
Oh,
Lomo something.
lomo saltado, I think,
Anyway, another traditional meal with alpaca
with
meat.
alpaca. Yeah, it was saltado. I
And
think.
it was
Yeah.
very good as well. Very tasty.
Very tasty. Yeah. I had a quinoa burger there actually, which was nice. It was my first quinoa from the country, and they're a big quinoa producer, so it's good to finally try some quinoa.
Yeah. And then we went to our
We had a little wander around,
little
didn't we?
wander.
We saw some kids dancing on the streets.
Yeah.
They like to dance here, don't they?
They do.
We've seen lots of marching bands and lots of kids doing organised group dancing on the street. But yeah, we went to bed quite early last night, I think, because you were
I
still
was still fucked.
So
And the altitude, it was even higher here. So I think both
Yes.
of us were a bit.
I was feeling the altitude again today.
We're like
Yesterday.
near 4,000 metres.
Yeah. We went up to 3,900, I think, on the bus journey,
Yeah.
and then we came back down to 3,850 or something in Puno. So it's no laughing matter. Yeah.
We went to bed.
We went to bed. Yeah.
And then we both woke up. I don't know about you. I woke up feeling fine.
Yeah, I woke up feeling great.
I'm
Yeah.
still very clogged and I can't breathe, but I feel good again.
No, I
It's
think
amazing.
we've both had colds for the record.
Yeah.
My cold is mostly subsided now. I woke up this morning feeling completely fine. Like I just acclimatised to the altitude overnight,
Yeah.
which makes sense because it was only
Pretty
300
normal,
metre incline. So
Yeah.
but it was very good.
We had a quick pish posh breakfast and realised that the boats that leave for these floating. Tell them about the floating.
Yeah,
islands.
so there's these Lake Titicaca. So we haven't said this yet.
No.
So Puno is on the edge of Lake Titicaca, so you get this phenomenal view of the lake from the town. And Lake Titicaca has still got some, I think you would call them like tribe or indigenous people
Yeah, definitely.
that come from generations of people who have lived and worked the lake, and they have this very unusual habit of creating their own human-made floating islands on the lake
Out of reeds.
out of the local reeds, which are in abundance. And they create this by essentially peeling away the reeds and then just stacking them on top of each other again and again and again and again.
Every 15 days. They
Yeah.
put new layers on.
Yes, yeah. And what happens is it takes about 2 weeks for the bottom of the reeds to rot away, and I guess that just disintegrates and goes back into the lake. So they need to keep replenishing the top layer constantly. And it's
Each island has a chief who
yes,
is in charge of this.
and they have a circular system, don't they, where they
Every year they rotate who the chief is.
there's a new chief every year, and it goes in a circle. And well, we thought we weren't going to be able to see this because both the boats that we saw, there was a tourist boat that left at say 7, but that was not guaranteed to get back at the time we needed for the bus. And then there was a local boat which was even longer. I think the tourist boat took 1.5 hours and the local boat took 3 hours to just get to one of the islands.
We had a bus that we needed to catch,
Yes.
so we wanted to be back on mainland for 11.
So we just walked over to the Puerto and Puerto and got accosted by a man.
We kind of wanted to be accosted though.
Yeah.
We were being like looking around like, accost us, people. Help
Um,
us.
A man just appeared out of nowhere with his little hand-drawn map. That was a very nice touch. And directed us to a taxi and said, well, we could take you on the boat. And he got his mate to come in and jump in the taxi with us.
Yeah.
And
They took us to the local ports.
yes, we got taken to where all the locals dock their boats.
Which isn't really a port, it's just like a reed bay. with
It's
loads
just,
of boats,
it's just a bed of
which
reeds
is nice.
where you jump on a boat. And he introduced us to his entire family, his son, his daughter, and his wife.
His wife was the one.
Were the
floating us
ones,
around.
floating us around. And I think he just returned back to town, didn't he, afterwards?
Yeah.
So it was us, his wife, and his children on the boat, and they took us specifically to the island that they live on,
Yeah.
which was a very nice touch as well.
Yeah, it was sweet, wasn't it?
And we walked around on this floating bed of reeds, and it was very squelchy.
It was.
It was.
Liam stood at the same spot for like 2 minutes and his feet started getting wet. You didn't notice.
I don't
pointed
know.
it out.
Yeah, I think you. Yeah.
His shoes started getting wet.
Waterproof shoes, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
They tried to sell us something. They
They tried to
told
sell
us
us a load of
they
tat.
told us the story of what they do, but it was all in Spanish. So
Yes.
I understood a tiny bit. Liam understood
Less.
much less.
Yeah.
But I did manage to learn that they have schools on the island as well. They have multiple schools, and they all live there. And our boat lady, was just sat down doing some artwork,
Yep. She was just like
chilling.
Yeah, she was like knitting something with.
Zero rush whatsoever.
Yeah, they make some of these fabric things from the reeds themselves, which was
Yeah.
quite interesting. I think that's the island. We got driven in one of the traditional ceremonial boats.
Yeah.
On the top, we're on the top deck.
One of the reed boats. You said it was the
Reed.
last island, or one of the last islands in the world that has traditional reed boats.
Yes, there's very few other indigenous people in the world who are still getting around day to day on reed boats. And we went over to another island, another floating island.
Yeah.
We went and used that. This was a much more well-established one.
Yeah.
For context, the previous island we were on, that our boat driver lived on, that was effectively just reed houses. It was just like little shacks, wasn't it really?
Yeah.
But this other island they took us to, it had much more substantial buildings. These were like
Very small restaurant.
like
very
small
shop.
sheds. Yeah, small restaurant, small shop,
Toilet.
sheds with glass facing like kind of
Well, yeah,
houses.
you can't, on some of the islands you can stay the night.
Yeah, it looked like you could stay there, didn't it?
Yeah,
They
I
had
think that was one of the islands. you could
Yeah,
stay
they
on.
had solar panels to heat water tanks.
Yeah.
So they had electricity as well. It was a very, very reasonable island. It just means you have to replace the reed beds every 14 days still.
Yeah.
You know? So
But that was sweet, wasn't it? That was so cool.
it was really cool. Yeah. And I had some tea on the island,
Yeah, coca tea.
battered coca, and
And then we got a boat back.
got the boat back. Yeah.
We went into the centre of town, had a coffee. Liam had a ice creamy drinky thing.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was effectively just pineapple and ice blended up with some sugar.
And we sat in the square. It was very nice. Lovely sunny day.
Yeah.
And then we were like, right. Well, I did tried to do a little bit of tax shopping, but no luck. So then we went to the bus station. We had plenty of time.
The bus was going to be at 11:45.
We got to the bus station with so much time, but we couldn't work out what the fuck was going on.
Yes.
The stall that was our company that our bus was with was empty.
Yeah.
No one was there. There was like some people waiting. I went outside and asked all the bus drivers, and they were all just saying like, "Oh, you need to go inside." And then eventually we worked out that our bus had been cancelled, like delayed by hours.
I don't even, to this day, I don't think I will ever be 100% sure that that's what had happened to our bus.
I don't know. It's annoying because we already paid for it.
Yeah, we had already paid for it. And I was speaking to this woman, the only woman in the whole terminal who spoke semi-good English, was also felt like she was constantly trying to sell me another bus whilst I was talking to her.
Which she got her wish in the end.
Yeah, and every time she tried to sell me another bus and I said I've already paid for this bus, she like would lose interest and walk away. But then eventually she'd see a more panicked look on my face, and she'd feel like there was a better opportunity to sell me a bus.
And then a bus pulled in that wasn't our bus, but we ran outside to try and use our tickets. They're like, no, this isn't going to work. And we were asking them, do you go to Juliaca, which is where we need to go? And they're like, yes, but we're leaving now and you don't have a ticket. So we ran inside to try and get a ticket from this different company. And the guy was so confused. He was like, I'll just buy a ticket out there. We're like, no, they said to come in here.
Yeah.
Please. We gave him the money, and then he realised the bus had already gone. And he was like, wait. Run. We had to like chase him outside. Chase the bus.
3,800 metres, yeah.
Yeah. And at high altitude, very high altitude,
yeah,
in the sun. That's very difficult.
Yep.
We chased this bus, stopped it. They eventually let us on. The reason Liam was checking his phone so much at the beginning because he was panicked that it was actually going to Juliaca or not. But it is.
Yep.
Isn't it? We're now very confident.
We're now confident that we're on the road to Juliaca. Yep. Confirm again.
And we got the bus fucking roasting. I took off all my clothes and we start recording.
Yeah.
And we're now going to Juliaca. We're meeting Joe, which is Liam's mate, because Liam is going on to Bolivia. He's doing his sabbatical for 5 weeks, and I'm catching my flight back to Lima today.
Yeah.
And then I've got a flight back home tomorrow. So that's it.
Yeah. I think Peru has greatly exceeded all expectations for me. It's been a
awesome.
fantastic trip. We've looked out very hard on the weather for the trip as well. We had a beautiful day at the top of Machu Picchu. We had a beautiful day scootering around.
Yeah.
The days when we've just been wandering around cities and not really seeing beautiful things, the weather has not been raining, which has been good. And we had a beautiful day to go out to
Today, yeah.
to
The gods have been on our side, haven't
So
they?
we've had a very, very fortuitous trip for the weather, and the people have been very friendly. I wouldn't say this is my favourite country for food.
No, but I've had some pretty.
You've had some good food. Yeah.
Good food.
It's not particularly veggie friendly. I think the veggie meals that they do make in this country are quite bland.
Yeah, it's very meat heavy here,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Which normally when I'm travelling, I try not to eat much meat, but every meal has been meat based, so
Yeah.
I've been pretty confident.
But overall, it's been a phenomenal trip.
Yeah, it has, isn't it? Have we missed any little stories? I feel like we've just done the logistics. I've kind of forgotten all the little stuff.
Little stories.
Your memory's much better than mine now.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I've laughed a lot on this trip, but mostly just because of how fucked Charlie has become in 1 week. It's like he's stacked it. It's like been stack upon stack upon stack. So he started off with the cold, and then the altitude sickness, and then he got really sunburned, and then he fell off a bike. Yeah.
Then the IBS got very bad.
And the IBS got bad. You've been really through the wars on this journey.
At one point, we were sat at a restaurant and you just asked me, how you doing? And I just looked at you. Fucking lost it.
Yeah, you were.
How'd you fucking think?
Gave me a big lowdown of all of the ailments that you were currently experiencing and why they were all stacked together to make you the most fucked individual. Yeah, I've never seen Charlie sunburn before, so this was a novelty for
I
me.
was proper, especially my neck was so sunburned. It was purple.
You've
Like,
seen me like at least partially sunburnt on every trip we've been
oh,
together.
yeah, absolutely. That's
But,
part of the course for you.
It's part of the course, as Charlie says. But yeah, I've never seen Charlie. The thing is, you got a lot more sun. I usually get like slightly sunburned.
But
My
you put on sun cream.
Yeah, my sun cream's run out.
I put on none.
But you would put on none, and
I spent a whole day in the sun.
close to the equator, high
Yeah,
altitude
that's
as well,
true,
closer to less air.
That's probably a good
yeah,
reason why it happened, actually.
yeah.
Because I don't think I spent much longer in the sun than I would without sun cream. Would have been
Yeah.
fine.
I think the gods were against you on that day. Other little stories.
Yeah, we have laughed a lot. I can't remember any of it though.
We've laughed a lot on this trip. We've had random things happen to us where we've gone to like bus stations and like shown a lady our ticket, and then she's just asked us for 3 sol and put some stickers on the back of my phone. We had no
Okay.
idea, literally no idea why we paid for that. We've had other random things happen. Trying to think. It has been a very kind of go with the flow trip in terms
Absolutely.
of like
Yeah.
there has just been a lot of things that
So much. If you'd have like had a strict plan, we'd have been very stressed.
yes yeah
I don't know. I think the two of us are pretty good at not getting stressed though. Even like with the bus situation today, like I wasn't stressed. We were trying to be as on it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because we had to do a lot, but
I was asking around. I just
running around the place asking people.
I was just talking to this woman who like constantly wanted to sell me another ticket, so I knew at least there was another. I think I was not really too stressed because I knew there was a local bus that she was talking about that was cheap. So,
Anything else?
no, I think that's everything that's in the top of my mind right now.
Well, that's it then. That's
Again,
been Peru.
this concludes the Peruvian Experience podcast.
Yeah. How would you rate Peru?
For out of what?
I don't know. Whatever.
For what reasons?
Whatever you want.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10 maybe. Yeah. What about you, Charlie?
I don't like doing things out of 10. I'd rate it as a lot of fun. Exceeds expectations.
Definitely, yeah. I think, on the expectation thing, for the context, we came into this country thinking that we would have some time abroad and then go and see an amazing wonder of the world.
Yeah.
And I don't think we expected that some time abroad would be as good as it has been. There's been lots of other
Everyone's
things.
been so friendly. We've actually had quite a chill trip, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like we've had a lot of time to relax in town squares and stuff.
Yeah, just
And
take
we've
it
made
in.
a huge amount of distance as well.
Yeah.
We've gone a long way.
Yeah. And I mean we've seen so many different biomes as well. We've seen like Lima, which is like the driest city, to Cusco, which is 3,500 meters above sea level, to Machu Picchu, which is like a rainforest, to Juliaca and Puno, which is next to Lake Titicaca. I get the feeling that it's quite arid here, but it also, when it rains a lot. It's been a really varied trip with lots of friendly people and lots of fun. We've laughed a lot on this trip, I think.
Yeah. And very few people have spoken English as well. We've done pretty well getting by off our Spanish.
Our Spanish is, well, mostly your Spanish, but we've
I'd say listening, we're pretty 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't know, we just go off vibes.
Yeah, I'm actually not that bad at vibing my way through listening to people, but
I can speak a bit.
Charlie can speak a bit more than me, more fuller sentences. I can just say baby language.
Vegano.
Yeah.
Sin queso.
Sin queso, sin huevos, sin leche, sin carne.
What a country.
No, all the
wonder.
sins.
One more world wonder down.
Yeah. And I guess that does conclude our Peruvian Experience podcast.
It does, yeah. Thank you for listening.
Catch you next time.
Bye-bye.